Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. My name is Ezekiel, and I'm going to give some warnings about Bible prophecy that a lot of people probably have never heard. Let me cut this light on here. I'll be right back. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Hello, Miss Tina. Thank you, Sister Tina. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Let me let me see if I can give you a moderator. Thank you so much for coming. Um, okay. Good to see you too. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Now let's see. Add as moderator. Standard. Okay. You should see it now. You should see a moderator symbol. Very good. Very good. I'm doing fine. How are you? I pray that your Saturday is going well. You're welcome. You're welcome. You deserve it. Um, hello. Oh, wow. Welcome. Welcome, Sister Herbs. Thank you for coming. You're always welcome. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, good. I'm glad that you're well. It's a that's a blessing. That's a big blessing. Let me cut this light on. I'm happy your Saturday is going great. Yes. It didn't start out that smoothly. I was having some trouble um with my laptop. It was doing some crazy things, and but it's doing okay now. Things happen sometimes, but but it's good to be here. uh Let me cut this light on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here, guys. All right. So how's your day, Sister Herb? Let me know how you're doing. Okay. Okay. Oh, you've seen each other. Hopefully somebody else will come in. But yeah, there's a lot of things that people don't know about Bible prophecy and what the Bible is really saying. And until people understand who what the Bible is talking about, they're not going to understand in Bible prophecy. And it's happening right before our eyes. Okay. Be right back. Think I'm going. Okay. I think I okay, okay. Good, good. Very good. Um oh, oh man, so thankful. Welcome everybody. Welcome. And I pray that more will come in, but it's good to have you. It really is. When I first started my channel, I had no idea that I'd even be doing live streams and that I would meet good people like you. But it's really a blessing. And I thank you. Okay. I really thank you for it, for meeting you and for your support. Um, so like I was saying, um, a lot of people they don't know, they don't really know the truth. A lot of people, and so what's happening is it's by the power of God that the truth is coming out. Okay. And so all people are welcome. You know, like it was brought out earlier, my name says Black people are the chosen Israelites of God, but this channel is not just for Black people. And it's not that I don't like, I welcome all races, and I believe that God has all races for all people of all nations. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, welcome. Welcome, Grizzly Warrior. Oh, it's so good to see you. You're most welcome. Oh man, it's so good to see you. Let me know how your Saturday's going. I think I can't remember where I met you at, Grizzly Warrior. I don't know if you know everybody, but if you don't, these are my friends. They're good people. If you haven't linked up with them, please do so. Very nice people. Yes. If you like, what? Oh, hey, Judith. Okay, what's so good to see you all the way from Kenya. Another person. We got East Africa in the house. Welcome, Judith Rum. Me, long time, long time. It's good to see you. Very good to see you. Okay, everybody. If people don't know each other, please hook up. Um, um, I don't know. Like I said, please hook up with each other. Good people. Let me give people moderators too while we're doing this. Okay, moderation. Okay, let me see here. Um, okay. Um, Sister Out with Kai, you should be able to see that, the moderator. Um, okay, what did I just do here? Uh, welcome everybody. It's good to see you. Um, oops. No, 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 no. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, I pushed a button here. Okay, so okay. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but let's try. Okay, we got okay. Let's try um see if we can get you moderator. Um and okay, what did I put here? Let me see. I don't know what I did here. All right, we got let's give the Grizzly Warrior moderator. Um and I hope that I didn't let's see, we got I hope that I didn't miss anybody. Um okay, let's give Sister Judith moderator. Um yes, yes, good people here. Good people to connect with. I think if I got everybody, remind me. Grizzly Warrior. Okay, good. You got your moderator. Good, good. We're doing good. Thank you for the likes. You're so welcome. Thank you guys for coming. My channel would be nothing without you guys. You're so appreciated. You're welcome. Um, thank you for coming. All who are here and so, all who are in the background. You're welcome to come in out of the bush. All people are welcome. All people of all races. Okay, so you're so welcome. You're always welcome, all of you. Okay, thank you so much. Now the reason why I named my channel "Black People Are the Israelites of God" is because we are. We most of us didn't know this. Okay, there are some of us who already did, But we're finding out there's been an awakening, and most of it comes as a shock to us to find out that the race known as Negroes, we're the children of God from the Bible. Our ancestors are the true children of Israel, and and it's been hidden from the world. Okay, and so I put my name. That's why I named my name, the channel, Black People, the Israelites of God, to let people know, not just Black people, but all people, because it has a knowing who the true children of God are has a tremendous, it means everything for Bible prophecy. Okay, so let's go to, I want to show you something. For people who don't know, I'll just read a little bit. Some people may already know this, but this is a great book. Okay, and this is written by a European Jew. Very good book, and he tells the truth. His name is Stephen Jacobs, and this book is called The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa. All right, very reasonable, and it has a lot of information. It doesn't have all the information, but it's great for people who want to understand the truth of this, and who Black Americans really are. I'm from America. Yeah, I'm from America, but our people, let um like the Bantus, okay, and the West Africans are the same people. During the expansion, they came in from the Middle East, okay, the and then throughout Africa and eventually to West Africa, and then the Israelites went to Southern Africa, okay, and West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, and so that's how it came to be. I'll show you. So I want to read a little bit. Let me read the back of this book. Remember, for anybody, it's a really good book and it's reasonable. It says $16 on here. I believe that's what I paid. Now it says the Hebrew heritage of Black Africa. Okay. Now, um, the Hebrew Israelites of biblical times. Who and where are their descendants today? Stephen S. Jacobs, a European Jew and historian, tells it like it was in this documentary, which proves conclusively that most people of African descent living in America and in the other parts of the Western Hemisphere as a result of the African slave trade are offspring of the ancient Israelites. We're offspring. We're literally the Israelites. So if you know who Moses was, the people of the Bible, like Moses, Aaron, um, Daniel, mighty King David, and Solomon, they were all Black. They were all of the race known as Negroes. Okay, and we're their bloodline descendants, and I'll explain to you how. So, let's see. I think that okay. Jacobs quotes eyewitness anthropologists, archaeologists, professors, and historians, including Professor Joseph J. Williams of Boston College, and presents to you, the reader, information that has far too long been suppressed. Okay, now, thank you so much, guys, for coming. Thank you. Um, Now it says, I'll read the foreword. Stephen S. Jacobs, a European Jew, has beyond the shadow of a doubt fully documented in this book, The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, that the Hebrews, Israelites, Jews of biblical times, were of the Black race and lived on the African and the Asian, Middle East region continents of the world. Um, in tracing the journeyings of the ancient Hebrew Israelites from Jerusalem to Assyria to Babylon and throughout the length and breadth of Africa. So understand that our people throughout the length and breadth of Africa, from the top down, there's Israelites, and from east to west, there's Israelites, north to south, and are the children of God. And so now Now, this is very important. Here's the next, and just stick with me. I ask anybody who sees this to stick with me till the end because I want to show you why this is important. Because people, the world, most people, I would say most people in the world don't know this, what I'm about to tell you. They don't know, so I want you to stick around. Welcome, Indiana Funny Farm. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. You're so welcome here. Let me see if I can get you a moderator. Um, okay, you should see moderator there, Indiana Funny Farm. Um, now there may be people who don't know this, and what I'm telling people may. Hello, hello, greetings, Mercy. It's so good to see you. Mercy Ties in the house. Oh man, I'm so good. I'm even better seeing you here with all my other friends and family. Welcome. And it's how are you doing today, Mercy? Let me get you a moderator. Um, all my friends are welcome here. All my friends. All you're all welcome here. Now, so this book, this is the second paragraph, the third paragraph. This book is a must read for people of all races and belief systems, for it satisfies the need to dispel the lies which have enveloped the minds of the masses into believing that the white European Jews are the original people of the book. This is not being racist, it's not being against, because this is a European Jew who wrote this. He's saying that the people who most people think the Europeans are not they're converts. They're not the original. Okay, and it says let me start. This book is a must read for people of all races and belief systems, for it satisfies the need to dispel the lies which have enveloped the minds of the masses into believing that white European Jews are the original people of the book and the chosen people of God expressed throughout the Bible. More and more white Jews, especially the older ones, are acknowledging in secret to those of us who already know that the original Jews were black. Scores of authors, black and white, have now written extensively over the last 50 or more years on the subject of the presence of black Hebrew Israelites, not only in the continents of Africa and Asia, but on other continents as well. Okay, some, or I would say most of these Hebraic people are descendants of the originals, and thousands more have returned to the worship of the Almighty God of their forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, after having been forced in times past to embrace other religions through foreign colonization. Now, also, what he's talking about, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's Yahweh. He's speaking of Yahweh of the Old Testament. That's our God, and I'll show you. He's everybody's God. It is hoped that after reading this and other books on the subject, millions more of African ancestry will not only agree with the contents, but will also make an informed decision to reclaim and practice the way of life ordained by the Creator through his holy prophets. The Most High is working his will through preachers, teachers, and authors to bring back his people who have gone astray, saying to them, "Return unto me, for I have redeemed thee." Now that's Isaiah chapter 44, verse 22. So now, so I'll show you why this is important. So understand that there's a professor. I have his book too. I'll see if I can find it. His name is Professor Tudor Parfit. Some of you have known him. He's from the UK. I believe he's English, but he's a Cambridge University professor. And he was on an interview, and people ask him, they because he's a expert on Jews and where they're located on the earth. He's an expert in Judaism and practices, and he knows all of that. So they asked him on that show. They asked Professor Tudor Parfit, who are the true Jews of the Bible? And he said that the race known as Negroes are the Jews, and the Jews are Negroes. Okay, it has been hidden. So it's important to understand Bible prophecy and what I'm about to tell you, because most people have no idea what's really happening, and all the signs that have been playing that's connected to what I'm saying. I encourage people of all races, whether you're white, black, Asian, whatever, wherever you're from, to hear this truth, especially if you want to, if you love God, if you want to know Bible prophecy, because end time signs may be happening now and people don't know. Most people have no idea what's going on. I'll show you. So, what else? Um, Now, um, I tell you what I'll do. I'll move to something else. Oh, let me. Okay, yeah, yeah, this is good. Let me read this. Okay, before we go, let me see. Um, Before we, this is the chapter 2. Before we set foot upon the distant shores of Africa in the Middle East, we want to remind you that the pages which follow actually represent the thoughts, observation, knowledge, and conclusion of many scholars and eyewitnesses. Knowledge and conclusion, I'm sorry, we merely are the editors in the sense of what we already know. Let me skip that. There is a well-known expression, a rose is a rose by any other name. This means simply that a rose is a rose, no matter what else it may be called. We who live in America are accustomed to thinking in terms of European language and culture. This applies to Black people as well as white. Listen now, Negro is a word of Spanish derivation. Colored, thank you for the love. Thank you, thank you. Spreading the love here, spreading the love. This applies to people, Black people as well as white. Negro is a word of Spanish derivation. Colored and Black are English words. Okay, rarely does the Black man of him think of himself in America. I'm sorry, rarely does the Black man think of himself as a descendant of the Ashanti, Fanti, Yoruba, or other West African ethnic groups. Yet he remains a person with the same heritage, the same historical experiences and background, and the same kindred feelings and emotions as most others of Black African descent. So while we may not share the exact same uh, experiences because we're living in America overseas, we still, when you go back far enough, we all have the same history. Okay. Um, in the same sense, such a person has a Black Israelite heritage, whether he uses this term or not, or whether he knows it or not. Because these words are not customarily used by most Black Americans, does not mean that they do not apply. Okay. Um, Now, okay, it must be, this is a good, okay, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, okay. It must be kept in mind that the Black man did not have control of his own destiny until recently. He was obliged and conditioned to accept the norms of others, and slavery and near slavery have been the rule in the United States. The ravages of intertribal warfare over the centuries and the intrusion of colonial and alien missionary forces combined to all but obliterate the knowledge of the distant past among the Africans themselves. Even where and when the Black man finally gained his freedom, he remained culturally castrated. He lacked the tools, as any sociologist would agree, to be the master of his own house. These tools include a homogeneous family and community life, an unbroken tradition of education and cultural self-awareness, and political economic independence, and the psychological self-assurance that comes with being a genuine first-class citizen. Um, and then I'll finish this. Thank you for coming. Thank you for those who are in the bushes, who are watching and who are not in the chat. Thank you for coming. You're all welcome. All races, all nations. I want people to hear this because they need to know the truth. Because the end times prophecy could be happening right in front of our eyes. People, this is very serious. What I'm telling people. Okay, so now let's go down to this. Okay, this is page 16, the third paragraph. This bias in our knowledge of history runs deep. It is reflected, for example, by the fact that little space is devoted to the historic and theological kinship between Christianity and the so-called pagan Greco-Roman religions of 2,000 years ago. Okay, a lot of people don't know that the Greco-Romans, the pagan Greco-Roman religions, found their way into Christianity, and it is also reflected by the fact that relatively few books deal with the non-Hebraic history or ancestry of most white Jews. Now, listen, most white Jews are descendants of Greeks, Romans, Armenians, Berbers, and others who adopted or converted to Judaism from among the period of its greatest expansion in the Mediterranean area before the Christian era began. Certainly few white historians are able to plumb the depths of anguish and despair suffered by black Africans who, like cattle, were once herded into the Western Hemisphere as slaves. Now, welcome, Jay Kingray. Welcome. It's so good to see you. How are you doing? Welcome. Join the group. Let me get you moderator. Thank you so much for coming. People from all over the world. This is beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, you should see moderator now, Jay Kingray. Good to see you. Good. Okay. Welcome. Now, what this is saying is that most of the Europeans or the white Jews are actually, they're not truly Israelites. They're not from the Middle East at all. They have no Semitic blood, no Middle Eastern blood. They're really, this explains that they're really descendants of Greeks, Romans, Armenians, Berbers, and others who adopted or converted to Judaism. You know, many people like in Israel are from, they're from Poland, Germany, Bulgaria, Russia. Many people, so they're Europeans. And welcome, Desert Channel. Welcome. Let me get you a moderator. Thank you so much for coming. You're so welcome here. Thank you all. You should be a moderator now, Desert Channel Explorers. Welcome. Did I miss anybody? No. Okay. So understand, and what's happening now, if you haven't, thank you so much for the like. Thank you. Welcome. I'm so thankful that you're here, and I pray that you're able to hear, stay as long as you can, or maybe to the end, to hear what I'm about to tell you, because this is very important for Bible prophecy and to understand the things that have been happening that most people do not know what I'm about to tell you. Most people have no idea. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, because my channel would be nothing without you. Benson Mathia, thank you for coming. Okay, thank you. Welcome. Nairobi, Kenya. It's a blessing to have you here. If you don't know the people, I don't know if you do, but if you don't, connect with them. Let me make you a moderator. Please connect with these people. Good people here. Good people. Thank you so much, Brother Benson, for coming. Okay. Now, what was I saying? But yeah, so what's happening is I would encourage people who don't know what I'm about to tell you. There's a lot of European Jews, and they're making videos now, and they're admitting they're doing DNA tests, and what is happening is they're coming making videos admitting that they have no Middle Eastern blood, that they have European ancestry. They are not Middle Eastern, and some of them are very shocked, and some of them are very upset when they find this out. And also, it must be known for people who don't know that in the state of Israel, as we know it today, they have banned DNA tests. They have banned DNA tests. So the question is why? This is not against anybody, but it's just a truth thing. Okay, let me finish up here. No single book can deal exhaustively with any subject so that every facet and opinion is recorded therein. Our book is no exception. It is not written to rehash old viewpoints and biases. It is not to rewrite. I'm sorry. It is not to rewrite white history in the Europe or Middle East. Our purpose, among others, is to redress what we believe is a long-standing imbalance in the presentation of Black history. We want to introduce you and every reader a part of Black history which cannot be found in the standard texts and treatises on the subject. Black Americans are now in a position as never before in modern history to rediscover and reclaim, if they wish, a heritage which has profoundly influenced world history and mankind, the Hebrew heritage of Black Africa. So now, this is it's important to understand that. So I know that many people who don't already know this, it may be a shock to them to find this out, that Black Americans are Israelites. This also includes West Africans and Bantus of Africa, and this also includes those that were sent into the transatlantic slave trade, and other slave trades, the race known as Negroes that was sent like to South America, Central America, North America, the UK, Europe, the islands, the Caribbean islands, and the Bahamas, places like that. The races that were sent into the slave trade are Israelites. They're really the children of God. So it was the children of God from the Bible that was sent on the slave ships. That's who was taken from the west coast of Africa and Central Africa and southern, even southeastern, southwestern. Slaves were taken from more places than most people realize. Okay, so when you look at a Afro-Puerto Rican or Afro-Cuban or a Haitian, Afro-Dominican, or somebody from Trinidad and Tobago, a Black from the Bahamas, realize that they're Israelites. So it's the truth, the race. So why is that important? It's not just to brag, and it's not to make other people feel bad. It's to tell the truth. Our history has been hidden, and now God is bringing the history out, because something's about to happen, folks. Like prophetically, all this is connected to what I'm about to tell you, and so all people in America, welcome. I'm trying to think. Did I see you on where did I see you at? Let me see here. 1 second here. Welcome. Oh, wait a minute. Shubham. My Indian friend. Okay, you just had a live stream, right? I was just on your live stream. I know who you are. Welcome. Okay, welcome. Come on in, brother. You are now a moderator. Come in. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. So, now, um, so now let's look at why this is important. So, a lot of people don't know, um, no ads to moderator. Or you don't want to be a moderator, or you want to be a moderator. What is it that you're saying? I don't understand. No ads to moderator. What does that mean? Please let me know what that means. Okay, so thank you for the please like and subscribe. Welcome everybody. So, and thank you for the likes. Thank you. So, now, um this is very important. So, Bible prophecy comes into play. And of course, I left my phone because I need it. And of course, I would have left it. I'll be right back, okay? Please don't leave. I want to show you the Bible, why it is important. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So now that super live stream, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let me plug this up. Okay, so this goes back to what I'm saying is the goes back to the beginning of the Old Testament, okay? And many of us have read these things, but I want to tell you, most people have not understood their interpretation. So all are welcome. Uh was I just on your live stream? Shuba, that's you, isn't it? Um Now, so okay, now we must go. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 12 and 13. This is very important. Like I said, for many people, this may be a shock to them. Some people may already know. But don't let that stop people from hearing what I'm about to tell, the truth, and what it means. This is very important. Ezekiel, my name is Ezekiel. My name is Ezekiel. My name is Ezekiel. Yes. Is everybody else there? Anybody else? Everybody else, are you there? What just happened here? Are you guys here? Let me know if you're here. Okay, let me know if you're here because what happened is okay, good. Because it's like I only saw one person. I only saw one person making comments. Okay. So Genesis chapter 15, verse 3. It says, oh no, 13, 12 and 13. Now, this is for people who don't know. This is Father Abraham speaking. Okay, and Father Abraham um, is the patriarch of the Israelites. It's because it's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's who the bloodline of the Israelites comes from. And so God is talking to him. Maybe another time. Now, so what happened is Abraham. Okay, listen now. So Father God, a lot of people don't know why God chose Abraham to be the grandfather of the Israelites, because Abraham was loyal to God. And Abraham in his country, he even moved from his country, from his father, because they were worshiping false gods. Okay, and it disgusted him. So Abraham walked with the Yahweh, the true God. He walked with him, and so Yahweh appreciated his integrity so much that he blessed him to be the he blessed him to be the father of the chosen seed, even though Abraham was the father of many nations. Okay, so let me show you. This is getting to where this is Bible prophecy is happening in America, and I believe this Bible prophecy is going to affect every nation, every continent in the world. Okay, this is very so. Thank you very much, Sister Kai. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, well, it's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Even my English isn't perfect, but thank you for coming. Thanks for the appreciation. So now we understand. So Abraham is highly favored by God, and also Abraham, know this: Abraham is from the Middle East region, and from what I understand, the area of Iraq, that area there, that's where Abraham's from, and that's really where the race known as Negroes, that's where we come from. Our origin comes from the Middle East, not from Africa. Our people migrated down into Africa, okay, from the Middle East, as the Bantus did, as the West Africans did. So, okay, so let's listen to this Bible prophecy, and I'll tell you why it's important. So this is God, Almighty Yahweh. For people who don't know, God's name is Yahweh. Okay, He revealed that to the Israelites. This verse, it says, "When the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram. Now terror and great darkness fell on him. He said to Abram, 'Know for sure that your offspring will live as foreigners in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them. They will afflict them 400 years. I will also judge that nation whom they will serve. Afterward, they will come out with great wealth.'" Okay. It says, "But you will go to your fathers in peace. You will be buried at a good old age." Okay. So it was the sun was going down, and it was a terror. He was in a deep sleep came, and he had the terrors, and great darkness fell on Abraham. He got this vision from Almighty God that his offspring will live in the foreigners in a land that's not theirs, and they will serve him. Other words, that they would be slaves. Okay, they would be slaves, and they will afflict them 400 years. So not only would the people were to be in that nation 400 years, they would be slaves and afflicted 400 years. So that could be a variety of things. But we know, but also judgment, it says, understand this. This is important. I will also judge that nation, says verse 14. I will also judge that nation whom they will serve. Afterwards, they will come out with great wealth. So the nation that was to be, the nation that was to be, that would take his people, his people that were coming in the future, they would take them and they would afflict them, enslave and afflict them 400 years. And then after that, they'll be judged. So keep that in mind. That's very important to what I'm about to tell you about America. 400 years. Now God told him about his people. Okay. So let me ask you a question for people who know American history. Does anybody know? Can anybody answer to me who's been enslaved and afflicted, or some verses say enslaved and oppressed? Do you know what race of people who has been enslaved and oppressed, or who has served and been afflicted for 400 years in this country? Thank you for coming. Please come back, brother Shubham Babu. Please come back. Thank you for coming. Can anybody answer that question for me? What people have been in America that was enslaved and oppressed for 400 years? Does anybody remember? Come on, guys. Who for people who are Americans especially, who has remember 2019? Do y'all remember on the news and in magazine it said that Black Americans were in the country? It says our people have been in the country for 400 years as of 2019. Remember? Okay, thank you so much, Sister Kai. So-called Black and African Americans. That's right. So it was us who was here. So from 1619 to 2019 was 400 years. And our people have been living here for 400 years. As a matter of fact, the government itself, I think the Congress or whatever, they had a bill. Key. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been saying it wrong this whole. Okay, I'm corrected now. Key. Thank you for telling me. Thank you. So now this is very important. Thank you. Thank you. So our people have been here for 400 years. I wanted to see if anybody else knew that. Okay. Some people may not have known. Some people are not from America either. But could it be that that Bible prophecy is talking about Black Americans? Because we've established with, and there's so much more information, but with this book, if this book is right and many others, in what professors have said and people who study, they say we're the Israelites, okay, we're the children of God. Does anybody, I forgot what my question was going to be. Oh, does anybody think that it could possibly be Black Americans? Okay. Well, it is. And I want to tell you why it's us. So once we establish, that's why I wanted to establish to people first that Black Americans are the Israelites. They're the true Jews, the true Israelites of the Bible. Okay. And many people think that when they read the Bible and they read Exodus, they think that the original Genesis 2, they think the original Israelites, the Israelites who were in Egypt the first time, they think that they were there 400 years, but in slavery, but they weren't. Because if anybody who knows the Bible, the Israelites went to Egypt to get food during the famine. Their brother was taken captive. His brothers were Israelites. They very, and it was very evil of them. They took him captive and sold him to Egyptians. And from there, Joseph rose up into status. He was an Israelite under the Pharaoh of Egypt. Now, so when the Israelites went into Egypt, they had favor from the Pharaoh because Pharaoh gave their brother Joseph favor. He made him the second in command in Egypt under the Pharaoh because he was able to interpret the Pharaoh's dreams. When the Joseph, who's an Israelite himself, when he first he went through all kinds of stuff. He was falsely accused of something, imprisoned for something he didn't do, but by him being able to interpret the dreams of the Pharaoh, okay, the Pharaoh had frightening dreams, and none of his holy men, none of his diviners could interpret the dreams that the Pharaoh was having in Egypt. So he was told about Joseph, an Israelite who had favor from God, who was able to show things. So these frightening dreams that Pharaoh had, Joseph was able to interpret the dreams and told him what they meant and what they must do. So God's warning for the Pharaoh was that if they want to survive the Egyptians, that they'll have to store food up, okay? And I think what it was 7 years, I have to go, I think it was, and they have to store, while during the season of plenty, they have to store up food into the houses because there was a famine coming, and it was going to be a terrible famine that lasted years. So Pharaoh listened, and he asked, and everything that Joseph said to do, Pharaoh allowed him to do it. So Pharaoh said, this Israelite will be second in command. Nobody will be higher than him in this country besides me. Okay. So when the Israelites, when Pharaoh found out that the Israelites who were there, who came to get food, were Joseph's brothers, were his family, Pharaoh told Joseph to go back and get his family from the land of Canaan to come and bring them into Israel. And so Joseph did, okay? And so they had great favor. They were given land. They were given favor in the eyes of Pharaoh because Pharaoh thought so much of Joseph, and Pharaoh knew that God's blessing was on Joseph, that everything that God blessed Joseph's hands to do was blessed because God blessed him. Sure, there is compelling evidence that Black Americans are the true Israelites from the tribe of Judah. Yes, sir. Thank you. That's very true. And West Africans and Bantus as well. And other people, others of us who were sent into the transatlantic slave trade, we are the Israelites. And so I don't know if you're a Bantu, or let me know, please. It's not the most important thing, but I was wondering if you're a Bantu. Now, so once you understand that Joseph, the Israelites had favored, and they were treated well when they went into Egypt, and they had peace, they had prosperity, they had what they needed when they were in Egypt. So they were enslaved in Egypt for 400 years, like people think. When you look at it, the Bible says it was to a Pharaoh who knows them not came. Another Pharaoh came after the first Pharaoh, okay? And then after that Pharaoh, he despised the Hebrews. He despised them. And that's when things changed for them that later on. So guess what? The Israelites were not enslaved and oppressed for 400 years there. They weren't, because they had many years of favor. And so then later on they were enslaved. But you know who was enslaved and oppressed in a land for 400 years? Black Americans. For people who don't know, go back and look. There's newspaper articles, there's news, the the Congress, I believe, passed a bill. I forget what you call it. Was it HR something? I have to go back and look. They passed something to recognize the 400 years of America in Black Americans. Why isn't that important? Because we're the Israelites. And so once you figure out the 400-year prophecy, you can look and say, wait a minute, Black Americans, we fulfill that. Okay. So now what? The Black Americans matched that exactly. It was it was even in newspapers and magazines 400 years. I remember the time USA Today had an article that said Israelites or Black Americans 400 years in slavery. Then on the front, big letters, it said Exodus. Exodus. That's what comes afterward. And you know what? I said they know who we are. They know that that was not by accident that they put Exodus on there like that. So now, I hope people are following me. I hope that people understand. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Key. Thank you so much. Now, I don't always know what direction I'm going to go, but it always comes to me. Power of God, Yahweh, be with me. Be with us. Direct me. Put the words in my mouth. So now, I want to show you something. And then this next thing is going to connect to some big events that happen in America. Also, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. Also, it is important to realize that we Israelites, at that time, I had newly awakened. Yes, I am Bantu from the Kikuyu tribe in Kenya. You highlighted them in one of your, okay, you saw that. Oh, wow. Okay, Kikuyu, you're always welcome. Thank you so much. Brother Howard, brother, oh man, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you. So good to see you, Brother Howard, Brother Benson. Look here, this is a blessing. And yes, for people who don't know, I did a video on the Kikuyu people. They're very well known in Kenya. And one of the most numerous, the Kikuyu, I believe, are one of the most numerous people there, numerous tribes or people in Kenya. But I have a book that shows, it was a history book that, oh, it's so good to see you. Wow. I have a history book that shows that the Kikuyu people are Israelites. Okay. So they're the children of God too. Now realize, even though he's from Kenya, but by him being a Bantu, we all have to thank you so much for coming, just asking. Thank you so much. I'm going to make you moderators in just a second. Hold on. So realize that Black Americans and the Kenyan brother, our Kikuyu brother here, that we have the same DNA. Okay. The Y DNA that our people have, or the DNA from the fathers going all the way back, is E1B1A. And all of our people have it. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. All of our people, the Black Americans. Some people ask, how do you know? How can you prove who are the Israelites? Because once you know one group of people who's Israelites, all you have to do is match our DNA with the DNA of other Africans, Bantus, and West Africans. West Africans and Bantus of the race known as Negroes are all the children of God, who are not originally from Africa. They went into Africa from the Middle East. That's why, as the Bantu expansions happen, some people call it the Bantu expansions or the Bantu migrations. What the Bantus are really Israelites who fled into Africa many times over hundreds and thousands of years, and then migrated to different parts of Africa. See, and so some migrated to the west, some went to the west and then went to the east. Some went to Central Africa and stayed, but they went through the whole of Africa. They stayed in different places where they went, and they went all the way down and migrated all the way down to the southern tip of Africa, South Africa. And that area is known as Bantu Africa. That's where so understand, we all have the same, we know that we're all Israelites from history and anthropology and archaeology, but also from DNA, because we all have the DNA called E1B1A. Write that down for people who don't know. E1B1A. That's how we know. So when you understand this, in sub-Saharan Africa alone, there are hundreds of millions of people who are the children of God, the true children of God. There are hundreds of millions of people who are really the Israelites. It's been hidden. And so by the Bantus and Israelites migrating, the ones that went to West Africa, then they were sent into slavery. That's how the Israelites got into America, because the people, the only people in those areas that slaves were taken from were Israelites. They can prove that. From 200 miles, I have this is in this book too, but 200 miles from the coast, west coast of Africa, and 200 miles in is where most of the slaves were taken from. And those people in there were Israelites. Okay. E1B1A. That's right, Sister Key. That's right. Let me give the moderators out. Brother Howard, I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing well. So let me make you a moderator. Everybody, I don't know if you know him. Please connect with Brother Howard. Good man, good man. Okay. Now, let's make just asking for a friend. Let's make her a moderator. And is there anyone that I missed? I think that everybody's current up to now. Okay, everybody's current. Okay, good. Welcome to the channel. So now we know who. So understand this. This thing is very serious, people. So you're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. Thank you. And make yourself at home. Okay, everybody, make yourself at home. I'm going to tell people things that a lot of people that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Most people don't know this truth that I'm telling, and I'm about to get into some Bible prophecy. But first we have to establish who the Israelites are so people understand. Okay? I want to show people something. Some people may be surprised that Israelites are in Africa, but I want to show you something that the Bible says years ago. And once you know what the Bible says, and you know who the people are, that Bible makes sense. That Bible's accurate to the minute. Everything that Bible said was going to happen has happened. And then some. Okay, so let's go to Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10. And let's look at what it says. The Bible told us in the prophecy, even then, in Zephaniah 3:10, it told us where the Israelites would be. Let's see where it is. Okay, now it says, this is a prophecy, and it says, from beyond the rivers of Cush, my worshipers, even the daughter of my dispersed people, I will bring my offering. From beyond the rivers of Cush. Cush is another name for Ethiopia. So it's saying from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my worshipers, even the daughter of my dispersed people, will bring my offering. So his worshipers, Yahweh's, Almighty God's worshipers, would be in Africa. Because let me show you something. Let me see that. And while that's pulling up other translations, I want to show people something. I believe there's a map in here, a simple map. Okay, is this the only one? I believe that this is the only one map, but this is going to have to do, and I think it'll serve its purpose. So, right here, this is a map of Africa. Now, to put it in context, this would be North Africa, right there. And this is backwards. I need to. Okay, okay. So this is West Africa on this side, and over here is East Africa. And brother Benson, our Kikuyu friend, is from this area. Now, the Jerusalem is here. You see that in writing. Jerusalem, Memphis, uh, Egypt, Elephantine. Those are historic areas, but Jerusalem's there. This is how the Israelites got into Africa, in the West Africa. So they came from Jerusalem. Some went this way. They all settled in countries, different countries that they were in. Some continued. They came this way. Some came this way. I I have studied DNA evidence that some came this way and went that way. So some Bantus were in West Africa first, and then went to Bantu Africa, the southern part down here. That would be South Africa and everything. Congo's right here, Kenya, and so now they came into Africa. If you look, I believe the rivers of Ethiopia would be in this area. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly, but so the Israelites would come past the rivers of Ethiopia, and so once you pass the rivers of Ethiopia, you deep into Africa. The Bible said in the Zephaniah 3:10 that's where they would be. They were already African Israelites in Africa at that time. You see, so the Bible tells us that they would be right here in Africa. So, and then they went from all to this area, and then from West Africa, they were taken this area. They were taken into slavery across the Atlantic. That's how people. I want people to understand. That's how Israelites got to be slaves in America. They were taken from the coast of West Africa. Yes, yes. Thank you, Key. Yes, yes. Thank you for the support. So now we've established that there's Israelites in Africa. We've established that they were taken, the slaves that were taken were Israelites. Let me tell you something else that many people may not know. Some people may say, with all the people and all the tribes, how do you know that it was Israelites? I'll tell you something. That when there's anthropology studies and DNA supports what I'm about to tell you, when I'll do another video on that too. I can show you the official studies that the governments did. Okay, the government. So when the Bantus or the Israelites went into Africa, the main people that they said were there were you had what they call pygmies. I don't remember what the modern name would be. The small people that live in the forest. You had people like the San people. They used to be called the bush. What do you call them? I don't want to say the bush people. There's a word that I'm trying to say. Some people prefer to be called San now. And you had another group that's related to them on the east coast of Africa. But otherwise, there were no other people in Africa. Understand that Africa is huge. The United States can fit into Africa over 4 times. Okay, so Africa is huge. So there was all that vast area, many places that the Bantu went. There weren't anybody else. Now there's the Nilotes, the Nilotic people. They're there. But what I'm saying is, There's a clear distinction. And I believe some Nilo and Bantu people have their customs have rubbed off on each other. There's Bantus in Africa. I forget what they're called. They speak a Nilot. They have Nilotic customs. I think they speak Nilotic languages, but they're Israelites still. They're still Bantus by blood. So, but anyway, I don't mean to get off on things. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I believe it's interesting too. It's ever since I found out the truth of this thing, it's consumed me. I've been fascinated with it. I've been fascinated with God. People can tell you there's nothing I get more excited about than God Yahweh and this thing here, this truth. I don't get excited about stuff like that. Just asking. Oh, okay. So now I want to show you go into some more Bible prophecy. I want to show people. I've heard people say, um, I know this is taking a while, but I want to be precise. I don't want to tell people just be patient with me, and I'll try to get this as possible. But people of all races, all nationalities, I want you to see this. I want you to be patient with me so you'll know in very well what I'm saying. Some people have asked the question, and I was one of them. I wanted to know, were any black people in the Bible? Many of us have wondered, well, what are we here for? You know, we didn't know this before, and so then the question was, I've heard people ask, how can something as huge as a transatlantic slave trade, okay? How can something that huge happen and not be in the Bible? It is, but it's been covered over. It is in the Bible. And I'm going to show you where it is. And also, I'm going to, please, for people who don't know, write this down or record it in some kind of way. These Bible verses that I'm telling you, because this is going to be very important to understanding. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy. There's so much history in between, but there's simply just not enough time to tell everything in one sitting. No, do I know everything, but I know that there's a lot more. Okay, so let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Yeah. And so now let's go down. So once you know that we're the Israelites, I'm going to tell you, some people wonder, well, why black and white? Would this happen to a people? Why could millions? This has never happened before in the history of the earth. No, how can this happen to a group of people? We wanted to know, why was our people sin? Why? I'm going to tell you why. Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is part of the most part of the law, okay? But this is God warning the Israelites. He's telling now what you better do. You better follow what I'm saying. So this is the World English Bible. I like it because it has Yahweh's name in there, God's name. It has his name in there over 6,800 times. God's name, Yahweh, is supposed to be in the Bible over 6,800 times in the Old Testament, okay? It was taken out. So when people read the Old Testament without Yahweh's name in there, they're understanding that everything, all this Bible prophecy is through and by Yahweh, and that will be carried out through him. You must have the Bible, and I recommend for people who really want to know the truth, And really, when they read that Old Testament, really understand what the Old Testament is saying, get a Bible like the World English Bible. There's more, but but this Bible has Yahweh's name in there where it's supposed to be instead of Lord. Other versions may say Lord or something like that or God. But his name, those are just titles. His name is Yahweh. And his name needs to be put back in the Old Testament where it's supposed to be. Yahweh's name needs to be put back in all Old Testaments where it should be. Okay, what book are you guys getting? I don't know if that's a question for if just asking is asking talking to Sister Key. If she's that question's for Sister Key, let me know if it's not. And but I think that question that just asking is for Sister Key. Okay. Now, Deuteronomy 28. This is why Black people went into slavery. I'm going to tell you what the original intent, okay, was for the Israelites. It says, it shall happen if you listen diligently to Yahweh your God's voice, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command you today, that Yahweh your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. That was God's plan. See, God didn't choose. How can I say this? Yahweh is the God, the creator of all people. And he's the God of all people, but Yahweh only chose one group of people. A lot of people, many people do know that. But now it says they'll be blessed. Let me make it fast. The Israelites would be blessed. They wouldn't have nothing to worry about. They'd be at the top. Okay. And let me show you something else. Now we're going to get to where slavery is in the Bible. Okay, but I want to show you something. Deuteronomy chapter 7. Okay. Good. I'm just asking. We'll take care of you. Between Sister Key and me, we'll take or find a way to. If we can't, we'll find somebody who can. But I think we can take care of you pretty good. Now, so now this verse is about the Israelites. And understand this. It says, for you are a holy people to Yahweh, your God. Yahweh, your God, has chosen you to be a people for his own possession above all peoples who are on the face of the earth. And so understand that. Why is that important? Because when we look at who are the chosen people, we need to know who they are and understand what it means that they're God's chosen people. There are people on this earth who are saying that they are God's chosen people, and they're not. They are converts. And so that's not to be mean, but it's the truth. And I think after this many years, after hundreds and thousands of years of this being hidden, let's say at least hundreds, it needs to come out. Everybody deserves a chance to know the truth. It shouldn't be hidden from people. People should be able to make an informed decision, an informed choice on what they want to believe and what they do based on the truth rather than deception. Because the whole world has been deceived. The whole world has been deceived. How would you deceive the world? Well, if you really want to deceive the world, you'll take over all the companies that make books. You take over, run the companies that make school books. You'll run the companies that tell the news. You'll run the companies that make movies. You would control them. You would put out the content. You would on the news stations. You would put the narrative out that you want people to hear. You would put out the information that you want to believe. You would take over Christian channels or channels that take over or talk about religion. You would do all of those things. You would write. You would print Bibles. That's how. And you make laws, certain laws. You would be put yourselves in position to be in position of power, and people have done it, and they were very good at it. That's how you become somebody that you're not. That's how you take somebody else's identity. That's how you steal somebody's identity. Is you control all the news. You control everything in the information that comes out. Then you control the narrative. And that's how the world has been deceived. Yeah. That's how the world has been deceived. But that's Bible prophecy taking place. You see? So the way that I am, and a lot of people, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, that there's a lot of deception, a lot of things that are wrong that go against God Himself. Okay. I hope that I don't offend anybody, you know, and but the truth is the truth. And I pray that I'm saying things in a way that will benefit all people and not hurt anybody's feelings, or I'm trying to say it in a way that people understand that I'm not trying to be about skin color or some kind of make yes, it's love. Yeah. 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 A lot of people are going to have things to pay for. And but the thing is, okay, you got it. You got it. You got it, Sister T. I'll follow what you said. Yeah. And see, it's in love. And see, because let me tell you why. That's Do you know that the Israelites are supposed to be the light of the world? It was through us that God intended to give light to the other nations. Light is supposed to come from us, not darkness. And so that comes with love, because in the end, God promises that He says that people, when He comes back and gathers the Israelites from the nations where we've been scattered. This is all. If for people who don't know, look at my there's a I think it's either the last live stream or the live stream before last. I did a live stream. It's talking about God will gather his children scattered from all lands. Well, when I talk in that video about God gathering His children scattered in all lands, I also speak about how Gentiles and people from other nations are going to go with the Israelites. Okay, we will not be alone. The people from all nations, the Bible said there will be 8 people connected to one Israelite. They're going with us because they hear that God is with us. You see, so there's people from all nations who's going, and we will all be blessed. And what's more, the world will have peace. The world will have peace when the right people, because the right people, the true people of God get into the land, the world's going to be at peace. And right now, people are fighting like the cats and dogs, especially over in the Middle East. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, that's why I'm trying to warn people of all races. I try to, because when I first found out this news, this information, at first I was more about telling Black people. And that's who I was mainly concerned about, and I still concerned to let our people know. But over time, God has blessed me and opened up my heart and my mind to understand that I need to reach out to all people. And I've been doing that. I've changed because it takes time to learn all of this. And it takes time to absorb this. But that's right, salvation, because that's right, Sister Key, salvation is for all. It was God's intent that the whole world be able to receive salvation. Yeah, the whole world is fighting with each other. And believe it or not, I would watch this thing in the Middle East because it could turn into World War III. I mean, I hope it doesn't turn into World War III, you know. And I tell you something else. For people who really know most black people, black Americans at least, I know, and I would say black people worldwide, if you really know the truth about most of us don't have any anger, or we don't hate anybody. We're not against people, even groups of people who have, how would I say that many in their group have mistreated us, but we don't look at people. Most of us are very accepting. Most black people forgive other people faster than we forgive our own race. And somebody tell me if am I telling the truth? It's in our nature, really, and most people. But see, people who are um people who are I don't hang around people anyway. I wouldn't be around people who have a lot of meanness in their heart. That those things have to be worked out. Some people are angry for a reason. It has to be worked out with God. I won't judge them, because some people are angry because of things that happen to them or happen to their families. Um, Now, so this is this. So we established that it was the Israelites were to be the chosen people by God's choice, because God loved Abraham, Father Abraham, so much, because Abraham was loyal, that God promised Father Abraham that he would have his chosen seed to come through him. So here we are. Wherever we're at in this world, here we are. Okay, I know it's a surprise to a lot of people. It was you know who this surprises most? Black people, when we find this out. It really, most of us are really shocked when we find out that we're the Israelites. We are. I know some people who cry. Some people can't sleep at night. I mean, it blows our mind. We're like, what? We say, what? We're the Israelites, because somebody has to tell us first. And you want to know who's telling black people, who's waking a lot of us up? It's Europeans. A lot of white people are the ones telling us, you need to wake up. You need to know who you are. And it's even European Jews have told us. They're telling us, hey, you're the Israelites. Yeah. That's how a lot of us are finding out too. It's not just our own people who's telling us this. I know I was. Okay, yeah. I've always known that I was a child of God. I always known that. I've always had an attachment to God, but I didn't know this. You know what I mean? But some slaves knew that they were Israelites. I have writings where some slaves knew that that's who they were when they read the Bible. You know. So, but in Deuteronomy 28, it says, "But it shall come to pass." Now, this is to the Israelites. He warned these hard-headed Israelites because they were hard-headed. He said, "But if it shall come to pass, if you will not listen to Yahweh your God's voice, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you." Okay, you will be cursed in the city, you will be cursed in the field. I'm going to try to find ones that mainly, all these things have happened throughout history to the Israelites. I'm going to try to find the ones that happened in America and mostly in the transatlantic slave trade. Okay. So it says, now, if Israelites didn't listen, what did I just do here? I'm sorry. Okay. And it says, "You shall not turn away from any of the words which I command you today, to the right or to the left, or to go after other gods to serve them." That's what got the Israelites in trouble a lot. So if it shall come to pass, if you will not listen to Yahweh your God's voice, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command you today, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Now, no matter what color you are, if you know the history of slavery, I want y'all to listen and tell me if this does not describe the slavery that happened to black Americans and others. But does this not describe slavery to the T? Tell me when after I read, tell me if I'm lying. This is going to describe exactly what happened to us. Okay, it says the fruit of your body, the fruit of your ground, the increase of your livestock, and the young of your flock will be cursed. You will be cursed when you come in, and you will be cursed when you go out. Yahweh will send on you cursing, confusion, and rebuke, and all that you put your hands to do, until you are destroyed, and until you perish quickly because of the evil of your doings, by which you have forsaken me. Okay, so right there. Okay, thank you. Watch and see what happens as I keep going. Now, there was something I was about to say. Remember, as I read this, put Black Americans in this. What I'm apply this to them. See Black American faces and slaves, and see if this doesn't describe our situation. So Yahweh will send on you cursing, confusion, and rebuke, and all that you put your hand to do, until you are destroyed, and until you perish quickly, because of your evil doings by which you have forsaken me. Slavery happened because of the evil that black people, that our ancestors did to Yahweh by disobeying him. That's why it happened. Let me see. Let me see. Yahweh will strike you with consumption, with fever, with inflammation, with fiery heat, with a sword, with blight, and with mildew. They will pursue you until you perish. This has happened at different times. But if you think about what happened during the transatlantic passage, and Israelites suffered with many illnesses. Okay, many. Okay, now, okay, 25. Yahweh will cause you to be struck before your enemies. You will go out one way against them, and you will flee 7 ways before them. So Yahweh said, your enemies, you're going to go against them, but they're going to conquer you. And that really goes back all the way to Roman times. When the Romans sacked Jerusalem the last time, I have records that over 1 million Israelites fled into Africa. 1 million Israelites. That's what the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus said. He said over 1 million when the Romans sacked Judah, when they destroyed the temple, when they sacked it that last time, most of the people, the Israelites, were taken into slavery then, and then and in servitude. No, and then the ones that weren't killed, because many were killed, but the ones who escaped, they escaped and went over 1 million, went into Africa. And guess where they are now? Ta-da! I'm just saying, some of us are in Africa, some of us are here. Hello? We're right here. The lost tribes is not the truth. We was never lost. People knew who he was, but they didn't want to tell the whole world, the general population. Here we are. The million. You think that now? Let me say something. I'm not trying to make this sound funny. Yeah, they tried to hide us, and they did. But you see, it's Bible prophecy playing out. They did hide us, and they did it very well. But So there was already Israelites there by that time in Africa before the Romans, the destruction of the temple and the destruction of Jerusalem. When you think of Jerusalem, like I said, look at the black faces on here and look at me. We're the people who would have been in Jerusalem. Now, some of us may have been darker, some of us may be lighter now because of our European admixture from slavery. But understand that the people in Jerusalem that you read about, the people from the Bible, the real people are black people, the race known as Negroes. Bet you didn't know that. How many? I bet a lot of people, some knew it, but I bet you a lot of people didn't know that, did you? And so if you're in Jerusalem and you don't have this dark skin, some variation, maybe lighter, maybe darker. The original Israelites were very dark, okay? And I can show you that in the Bible. Do you know that the Bible literally tells you that the Israelites were black? How many people knew that? The Bible, I can show you that. But so let me understand this now. When you look at when you look at me, when you look at Just Asking, when you look at Brother Benson, when you look at Brother Howard, and I don't know who I'm missing. I think I'm not trying to call people out, but you get what I'm saying. We are the people. Okay? So Abraham was black. It's just a truth thing, okay? No offense. Now. Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. You know, you guys are really a blessing. You blessing me. I'm so thankful. Hello, welcome. Let me go ahead and give you moderator. Welcome. Okay, so now let's keep going. Now, verse 28, Deuteronomy 28, verse 28. Yahweh will strike you with madness, with blindness, and with astonishment of heart. Think about the slaves. Some slaves cracked up. They were under so much stress, they saw so much terrible things happen to each other. So many terrible things happened to them. Many slaves lost their minds. Okay. And it says many went mad. You think if you see your daughter, your son sold away from you, your wife, or you see them get unalived in the most heinous ways or tortured, that it's not going to affect? Yeah, and think of all the stuff they saw through their whole time and experienced. Okay, and so you could have a wife. So our people have had astonishment of heart too. Blindness. We're looking, trying to feel around why is this happening to us. The Bible said it's going to happen. The Bible said if your ancestors don't listen, this is going to happen. You're going to have all these things. It said you're going to be struck with madness. You're going to blindness. You know, the slaves looked around and said, why is this happening to us? I've been telling people I see 9/11, and right there, there's 9 people that I see in the chat, and there's 11 likes. Okay, 9/11. There's a reason I say that too. I'm going to show you. Just keep coming back, okay? I'm going to show you things that you'll never see anywhere else by the power of God. I'm going to show you signs that he's showing all the time. People don't know them. People don't see them because they don't know they're there. Okay? Now, thank you so much for the love and support. Thank you. Okay, now, the astonishment of heart. So God promised, thank you so much. God promised, Faith, is that you? Faithy. I think that if that's you, hello. If that's you, oh, you see him too? Yeah, it's happening to a lot of people. It's happening because I had asked a sister told I heard her say, no, here's what happened. I'll make it fast. Because I told her, I said, I told people, I said, um, I keep seeing 11. I keep seeing 9/11 all the time, all the time. And then so I went on somebody's live stream. I went on her live stream, and at a certain point it was like 11:11 p.m. and I said, you have looks like you have 11 likes. And I said that's something because I've been seeing 11 too. And you know what she told me? She said she's been seeing it. She's been seeing it herself, 11 a lot. And then I asked her, I said, do you think that it could be God warning us, giving us signs? She said, absolutely. And then I had another Israelite friend. She told me too that her brother and her were talking, and her brother kept seeing 11. Okay. This is the Holy Spirit, y'all. You see, yeah. It's God warning us. You see, you know why? Something's going to happen. Now, 11 in the Bible and biblically 11 stands for judgment and chaos and disorder, okay? Judgment, chaos, and disorder. Are we seeing that in American government and with the war in the Middle East? I'm just saying. And also what's to come. And so 9/11, think about what happened on September 11th of 2001. 9/11, we know that the worst terrorist, attack happened on US soil in US history. Thousands of people were lost. So that's 9/11. I'll tell you something else. The terrible earthquake and tsunami that happened in Japan, it happened recently. The earthquake and tsunami that happened on March the 11th of 2011. You see the patterns? 11s, March 11th, 2011. And that means something. God is doing that for a reason. Do you know that so many 11s are attached to the September 11th attack? Even the way that the World Trade Centers were built looks like an 11. If you look at, one was here, one was there. That's 11. Even the see. So God is showing us these things. Now, astonishment of heart. Many of our people have had astonishment of heart. When our people keep seeing our people, the same thing happen over and over. When you see innocent people getting unalived by the police, when you keep seeing people that get pulled over for a traffic stop and get popped, pew-pewed, or get unalived over and over, laying in bed asleep, get unalived. A police officer kneels on George Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes. We keep wondering, why does this keep happening? We're astonished. We have an astonishment of heart. And then we would have thought that they would have made laws for us then. We would have thought that they would have made laws to protect our people, to take away qualified immunity from the police, and to hold them accountable for the things that they keep doing to our people. They make some kind of bill, and they didn't. But you know who they did? They made bills for other people. We thought things would change, but they didn't do it. And ironically, I believe that it was Democrats who blocked it. So what I'm saying is, we're looking at these things. Why is this happening to us? Why are our people in this situation? Why are people why people get lynched and still happening today, modern day? Our people still being found hung in trees. A few several months ago, they found a black man. He had made a phone call. He was running, and some people were after him. I believe that's how it happened. Later, they found him, and the top of his head was sawed off. This whole part of his head was sawed off. Not to mention all the ungodly, horrible, unspeakable things that have happened to our people over the hundreds of years that we've been here. That's just the icing on the cake. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Why? Had not people been through enough? Why, after they got out of slavery, why did y'all have to ride and terrorize them and unalive them at night? Why did you have to go and when our people, when you let slaves out, slaves were slaves. They had nowhere to go. So when slaves were freed, they had a choice. Either you can go free, or you can stay here, work, sharecropper or whatever. So the ones who chose to leave, well, when you don't have nowhere to go, where do you go? So thousands, tens of thousands of our people died, of the black slaves died from hunger and exposure, not to mention, and at the same time, people were lynching our people and violating our women, children. At the same time, we look at this. Why does these things keep happening? Why does every time we turn on the news, it's like pow pow, the policemen come and shoot, and next thing you see, oh, they shot my baby, oh, they killed my baby, over and over and over again. That's astonishment of heart that the Bible said was going to happen. Why was a little woman, a teen? Welcome. Oh man, welcome. You're welcome. I'm going to visit you today, okay, brother? I'm going to take care of that for you today, bro. Let me give you a moderator, and I want you to, if you don't know these people already, I want you to connect with him, bro. Gotti Jr. He's a young, I believe he's a young Kenyan young brother. Just began his channel, and he's looking to expand. So please, y'all, if y'all don't know him, whoever, show him some love, which I know you will. Y'all connect with each other. Thank you so much. Welcome, brother Gotti. So I'll speak of this one, and then so there's that woman, I can't remember her name, teeny tiny skinny little black woman, and it was two policemen, big old policemen, and he told her whatever he said, to come out the kitchen, whatever he told her to do. And she reached to turn off the stove, and he draws his gun, and she's just turning off the stove. I think he told her to. I forget how it happened, but here's the point. He drew his gun and shot her and said because he thought he was in fear of his life. Didn't you want her to cut that stove off? I think, didn't he say to do it? But either way, how can you be in fear of your life for a little boy? You're a big old man. That man is a big man. And you're telling me that you're afraid of a teeny tiny little black woman that ain't no bigger than this pencil? Why you have to shoot? Because he wanted to. Because that's how he feels. He dislikes our people that much. So I want to show you something even about that. But let's go on. We understand the astonishment of heart that our people have been feeling. Okay. There's other nations who have felt it too, because they see it happening. There are many people who do not like it. It has bothered a lot of people. Some people, they did march with us, okay, and try to change things. Okay. Oh, and the whole world stood up. That's the first time any of us had ever seen people all over the world, people in Japan, Ireland, and all over stood up and said that's wrong. People in Europe, France were protesting, tearing up stuff. In the UK, I think Ireland, they were tearing down statues that they looked at as being racist. So, it's been a long road for our people here. Now, let's go Deuteronomy 28, verse 29. You will grope at noonday as the blind gropes in darkness, and you shall not prosper in your ways. Haven't our people, we know that there's some black people who get prosperous, but many times we see that many times the poverty, the same things keep happening in certain generations of black people. We see it certain and certain types of discrimination or things keep happening. We know that. So it says, now you will not prosper in your way. Some people can go and get bank loans, and some people just can't. Just start a business anyway. So now you will be only oppressed and robbed always, and there will be no one to save you. And that's been our people. Our people's been oppressed, only oppressed. There's been no one to save us. And we were and so our people kept going through that and going through it now. Okay. Does that not sound like us? Only oppressed, robbed always. Even when our people in the civil rights movement just wanted to be treated decently, just equal, not better, just equal. People, they got tired, and they put sick dogs on. German shepherds were biting our people. They were tear gassing our people, beating them with them wooden batons, had guns, riot shotguns, and they were getting their heads cracked. All kinds of terrible things have jailed, and women violated. They did all kinds of stuff. And even in slavery times, even in those, men happened to men too. They did it to men a lot, called buck breaking. You see, so you will betroth a wife, and another man will sleep with her. Did that not happen in slavery? How many? Probably countless times. A man had a wife, and the master or the overseer could just come and take her and sleep with her in front of him. In front of them. That's why they went, and some of them went mad. But there were a lot of revolts too, a lot more revolts than people know about, because they hid that from history. A lot of people fought back. But anyway, so it says, let's go. So you will betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Do we not see that this is talking about our slavery, folks? If anybody can see that, please let me know that this is talking about our slavery, the Black American slavery. Okay. You will build a house and you won't dwell in it. Slaves built houses and didn't dwell in them. I believe that the history says that black people built the White House. They built many. They were very skilled at those things, but they built them for somebody else for free, and they didn't get to stay in them. Somebody else stayed in them. Is that not what happened to our people? Let's keep going. You will plant a vineyard and not use its fruit. Didn't our people plant fields, plant all kinds of crops, and not use the fruit? That's right. The White House, to name one. There's many more. Our people built plantations because a lot of people don't realize that history shows that at one time, black people were doing all those kinds of jobs, building, carpentry, construction. At that time, it would have been looked, a white man doing those things would have been looked down upon. It was black because they had those skills. Later on, it changed, changed. And then, yes, other people started doing those things more. But originally, it would have been shameful for people to see doing the jobs, the building and things that our people were doing. No doubt it was harder work because there were no power tools back then. It was all muscle. And all that stuff. They said some slaves were so strong, they said some men could grab a good sized man by the belt. They could grab him by the belt and just lift him up like that off the ground with one hand. Y'all heard that? They were strong. So let me speed this up. Okay, and it says now. Okay, you will plant a vineyard and not use its fruit. We know slaves grew so many things: tobacco, cotton, all kinds of indigo, rice, all kinds of things, and didn't get any pay for it and didn't get to use them. Okay, let's keep going. Your sons and daughters, verse 32, your sons and daughters will be given to another people. Your eyes will look and fail with longing for them all day long. Did that, and it says, there will be no power in your hand. Did that happen to our people? Your sons and daughters will be given to another people. It happened all the time. They broke up families. They broke up, yes, it is. Yes, it is. They broke up families and did without caring, like they're not humans, like they were just animals, worse than animals, treated them worse. You know, so many times. Did that not happen to our people in slavery? Are you seeing that this is Bible is talking about us? Okay, you should be. Okay, so did people not eyes not long with failing? I mean, did our people's eyes not look and fail without longing for them all day long? If you get your daughter or your son shipped off from you, you're going to long for them for the rest of your life. That was the last time many of them, probably most all of them, would ever see their children again. And sometimes it was wives and husbands. It could have been anybody. Okay, let's keep going. A nation. Now listen, this is a nation which you don't know will eat the fruit of your ground and all your work. Did not a nation take us that we didn't know? We didn't know who the people were. Did they not take us? And I'm sorry. And did I lose my place here? I'm sorry. I lost my place here. Um, excuse me. I'm sorry. Where was I at? Okay. Yeah, well, a nation that you don't know will eat the fruit of your ground and all your work. You will only be oppressed and crushed always. And then it says again, it says, so the sights that you see with your eyes will drive you mad. Our people have been oppressed and crushed always. And the sights that we keep seeing, these things that we keep seeing happen to our people will drive us mad. Okay. Um, okay, 37. You will become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the peoples where Yahweh will lead you astray. Did that not happen? We become an astonishment. That people say, look at those black people. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with black people? And it says you become a byword, something that people talk about, people curse, something that people speak of to speak with despise. That's what a byword is. Okay, you become a byword among all the peoples where Yahweh will lead you. That has happened to our people. Okay, you will carry much seed out into the field and will gather little in it. Well, that's another one that happened actually. Um, um, you okay? Verse 41, Deuteronomy 28, verse 41. You will father sons and daughters, but they will not be yours, for they will go into captivity. Did that not happen? Our fathers and they people fathered sons and daughters, but they didn't own them. They were sent into captivity. You can have sons and daughters, but they weren't yours. They belonged to the master, and they could sell them anytime they wanted. Okay. The foreigner who is among you will mount up above you higher and higher, and you will come down lower and lower. Did that not happen to our people? People looking, I've heard our own people talk about, do you see those foreign people? They came from Asia, or they came from that country over there, and they came over here and they're above us. We should have these stores in our own neighborhoods. They're coming over somewhere else, putting stores there and building businesses. The Bible said that was going to happen. That's why it keeps happening. We're fulfilling Bible prophecy. If anybody wants to have something to prove that the Bible is true, you only have to look at the black man, the black American, or the other people that this happened to. and it'll show you that everything it said is what happened to us in slavery. Let's keep going. Okay, the foreigner who is among you will mount up above you higher and higher, and you will come down lower and lower. He will lend to you, and you won't lend to him. He will be the head, and you will be the tail. That's what's been happening. If we get lent to, we may, if we can get money lended to us, but it's not going to be us doing the lending because we're not going to have the means, the most of us. Okay, we fit that. Okay, all these curses will come on you and will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed because you didn't listen to Yahweh your God's voice to keep his commandments and statutes which he commanded you. They will be for a sign and wonder to you and to your offspring forever. Okay, because our people disobey God Yahweh. That's why this happened. It said, in these curses, now listen, it said it would be for a wonder into your offspring forever. There would be a sign. You know what that sign is? Now listen, the Bible's telling you right here, these curses that were to come upon our people, the Israelites, they would be for a sign and a wonder for your offspring forever. So that means forever means some places in forever, the Bible says it means for a long time. But there's the end time Bible prophecies show otherwise, that God is coming back to gather our people back to him. Okay. So, but the point is, these things are over our people for a sign. Over black people, we question, why are these things happening? Because God put these things as a sign of who we are. And I'll tell you something else. If you're claiming that you're the chosen people and your people have not gone through these things at some time or another, then you are not the chosen people. To be the chosen people, these things have to be over you as a sign and a wonder. Like the other place, like Haiti and other places like that, like places after colonialism, the way that colonialism affected Africa, even until now, they were affected by many of these, because some of the same things happened to them there, maybe in slightly different ways. But you have to have these curses on you for a sign, or you're not the chosen people. If you look in your history and your people have never been enslaved, and your people have never gone through these things, if your people are the ones who were setting up shops and selling things, making money off of slavery, if your people were taking the indigo that slaves were growing and getting rich off of it, and you're still filthy rich to this day off of it, then you are not the chosen people, because the Bible didn't say that you would be at the top. The Bible didn't even say our people would be in the land yet until God comes at the end. If you don't fit these curses and have the sign over you, the suffering, you cannot be the chosen people. Let's keep going. Let me speed this up. So, verse 48, therefore you will serve your enemies with whom Yahweh sends against you, and hunger and thirst and nakedness and lack of all things. Didn't that happen? Weren't our people sold in hunger and thirst and nakedness? Yes, they were. This is us. Why does it sound like us? Because it is our people. It is our ancestors. Let's keep going. Therefore you will serve your enemies whom Yahweh sends against you. He will put an iron yoke on your neck until he has destroyed you. Right here, didn't our people get sent into slavery with iron yokes on our necks? Who else do you know who's gone, who matches all these, sin into slavery and nakedness? You have an iron yoke. The Bible even predicts that our people would have iron yokes on our neck. Who else could this be but us? Who else in the world could this be? I'll show you. Let's keep going. So he will put an iron yoke on your neck until he has destroyed you. Yahweh will bring a nation against you from far away, from the end of the earth, as the eagle flies. a nation whose language you will not understand. What nation is represented by the eagle? Isn't it funny that our people were taken? He said God was going to send a nation against our people, and as the eagle flies, whose emblem is the eagle? America. Let's keep going. A nation whose language you do not understand. We didn't understand English until we had to learn it. Okay. A nation of fierce facial expressions does not respect the elderly nor show favor to the young. Okay. And that's happened traditionally. The masters and people even after have not cared how old our people were. They could call it the old man, a 70, 80-year-old man, call him boy, call it an 80-year-old black woman a girl, gal, and a nation of fierce facial expressions. And we see that, don't we? People who marching against black people and people who have sneered and they have that anger and talk to you people, you N-words, they have that angry look on their face, don't they? The Bible said that was going to happen. The Bible, and how come the people fit this? That are not all people are like that, okay? Not all people, but how come the people in America fit this if it's not them? How come it's the eagle? As the eagle flies, the eagle is the Americans, the American mascot, the bird, the animal. So they will eat the fruit of your livestock and the fruit of your ground until you are destroyed. Okay. They also won't leave you grain, new wine, oil, the increase of your livestock, or the young of your flock until they have caused you to perish. Our people, they didn't leave us grain and new wine, and oil, or whatever whatever. We didn't get that. Somebody they got it, or somebody else. Some of these things, but I can't tell you all this because it will be too long. Okay. All this stuff, that some of this stuff I'm reading has historically happened to the Israelites, which fit our people too. Um, okay. It says that Yahweh, if you will not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that you may fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh, your God, then Yahweh will make your plagues and the plagues of your offspring fearful, even great plagues and of long duration, of severe sicknesses and long duration. That has happened many times. I don't either. I don't like when they do that, but that has to call people, grown people, boy or girl, or anyone, yeah, in a negative way. But that has happened to our people. No consideration for the young or the old. And just like that kid, Tamir Rice was playing with just a toy gun in the park, and the policeman just rolled up and shot him. That would not have happened had that been a kid of another color. Look, I'm not trying to be racist. We all know I'm telling the truth. Everybody here knows I'm telling the truth. That if that child was white, that they would not have been killed like that by the cops. I don't believe, and so you don't think they could see a little boy and could see a little boy by himself. He wasn't threatening nobody else. He wasn't aiming it. He wasn't hurting anybody with the toy gun. He was just playing with it, and they rolled it. You don't think that they could have had enough compassion or love to make sure that it's not a toy gun, since he is a little boy? And that's also happened to some. Didn't that happen? They popped unalive some of our people at Walmart who had a toy gun in their hands. Let me know if y'all heard about that. I keep seeing 4-8. There's 8 people in the building and 14 likes. You get rid of that. 1 times 4 is 4. That's 4-8. I don't know. And it's 84 backwards too. But maybe it's a coincidence. So Okay. Now, okay, let's go to 64, and this part is about over. Thank you for staying. Those of you who stayed, yeah, it's a dangerous thing. I When I was younger, I could do it where I was at, uh, but we were blessed. But yeah, in other places where because there wasn't that many people where I was at, so I could do it. But yeah, if there's a risk of that, you do not want to. I've seen kids. I had a family member, and we said he's not allowed to go outside with toy guns for that reason. Yeah. Oh yeah, but it's been many things like that that's happened. I think that there was a couple people in the store, Walmart, and they were just had toy guns in their hands. Didn't you hear something like that? Okay. The numbers are going back and forth because I keep coming on my phone and comment, but I'm trying to. Oh, it's okay. Do what you need to do. Listen, I thank you for being here. I thank all of you. And so don't worry about it. I know that you are sincere. Just asking. I know you're sincere. You too. Thank you so much for being here, Indiana. And I can't remember if I'm going to see if um I may not have subscribed to you yet, but I will later on today. All of you who I miss, I'll subscribe to you. I won't forget about you. Yeah, yeah. Phones are mistaken phones for just see these curses. This is People say that it happens to everybody, but I've never seen videos of these things happen. Never to white people. I'm not saying that they don't, but I've never seen it. And if there is something that happens, it's a once here and there. But this happens to our people all the time. Yeah, people mistook cell phones. People holding a cell phone in their hand and got unalived. Yeah, you know what? There was that guy in his backyard, and he was in his mama's backyard or something, and he had a cell phone, and they unload on him. They shot like 50 or 60 times, something like that. Bah, 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 bah. All of them, and he just had a cell phone. Then you know what they do? They come and release something bad about the black person that they unalived. They come back in the public. They stand up on the podium. They come back, and then to justify them being wrong, unaliving them, to justify it, they then come and have to say something bad about the person to tarnish their reputation, to make so that they can justify taking his life. But that may fly over with some people, but it doesn't fly over with God. They do that. They've been doing it. They could have done something wrong against even their own laws, but then they'll come out and say, "Oh, he was bad. He was this and that. He was bad. He was this and that." That is what the Bible said. We fit the Bible prophecy. This is I wasn't gonna go over it like this, but I want to because I want people to see that this is the truth. And this thing, all the things from this forward. So if I have future videos about Bible prophecy or future live streams, the people are going to know. People who've seen this will know about this, so I won't have to come back and explain this to them. Okay. Deuteronomy 64. Speaking of the Israelites, now make sure you put black people in this place. Think of black people you see. Think of me or anybody who you know, and this is who this is talking about. Yahweh will scatter you among all peoples, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. There you will serve other gods, which you have not known. You nor your fathers, even wood and stone. Now, that has happened. Understand these curses have repeated themselves over and over. This was not a one-time thing. They have repeated themselves, but this last slavery was the biggest, and it's the last. Okay, so it says, now, the part where I said, Yahweh will scatter you among all peoples, from one end of the earth to the other. Right there, that happened to our people. Our people were scattered to all over the earth. Who else is that happened to in slavery? Our people were sent to all the nations of South America, Central America, Brazil, Suriname, Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, all in Guyana, French Guyana, British Guyana. Our people were sent to all those in um, Costa Rica and Panama and all those places. Our people were sent to Colombia, um, in the Caribbean, all those Caribbean islands. That's never happened to anybody else before. We were sent to North America. There were black slaves sent to Mexico. They had black slaves certain places there, and their descendants are still there today. They've had slaves in more than this to South in America. They had slavery in a lot of places all over America. And so you see these things have happened. Nobody else matches these curses. It has to be us. And let's see, verse 65. It says, among these nations you will find no ease, and there will be no rest for the sole of your foot. But Yahweh will give you there a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and pining of soul. Hasn't that been our, yes, every time. Hasn't that been our, they release, every time they say, they release a bad report to make them look bad. So, but yeah. So the part where it says you'll find no ease, there'll be no rest for the sole of your feet, that has happened to our people. Let me tell you, we fit this because many times, even our people after slavery, some of our people were given land. Some people bought the land or worked to get the land, whatever, however it was. But many of the people didn't get to enjoy it because they were run off their land, because they were unalived by people on their land. Took it. And some people who took the land are still on that stolen land today, right now. Not some, many, most. And let me tell you something, that happened all the time. They couldn't find no matter. It's like no matter what you do. So it's like, the saying, you messed up if you do, messed up if you don't. Either way, it's like no matter what we do. So people didn't want us in their towns. And they said they didn't want to be, or they couldn't stand us. So then our people built their own towns. And our people were doing just fine, doing very well and prospering. Then what happened? People would come and destroy our people's towns out of spite, out of envy and jealousy, out of evil. They would come and destroy. How many times has that happened? Countless times. The Tulsa, Oklahoma is one of the most well-known. You had professional people. Our people started bankers and professional people there. And the town was beautiful, thriving. They were even winning lawsuits against other people. And then the people couldn't take it. So they destroyed it. Not only did they destroy it, they dropped bombs from airplanes. They unalived the people, brutalized the people, men, women, and children, and old, young. That's how come earlier in these prophecies, it said that they'd have no regard for the young or the old. And our people fit that. And it happened over and over and over. So you couldn't live. You know how how men laugh at women? They say you can't live with them, you can't live without them. Well, that's how our people felt. Okay, they can't stand us. So when we're around them, they can't stand us. They don't want to be around us. They have been unaliving our people in the most horrendous ways. Let's go into our own section. Let's move and start over and just hope they quit messing with us. Did they? No, they still didn't quit messing with them. They fought, and then they terrorized them at night. Couldn't sleep because people was out riding horses, burning crosses, taking people, unaliving them, violating the women. It says, among these nations you will find no ease. There will be no rest for the sole of your foot. But Yahweh there will give you a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and pining of soul. That's what happened to our people. Okay. Your life will hang in doubt before you. You will be afraid day and night and will have no assurance of your life. In the morning, that has happened. Do our people, even today in 2026, with the way that so many policemen act, our people can go out and we'll say, we don't know. Just try to be nice to the policemen if they pull you over. Have good manners. You have your hand on the steering wheel because we know that there's a higher risk. We know there's no assurance of our safety, whereas we're not seeing this happen to other people. And we're not seeing this happen to the children of those who's doing it to us, but it's happening to us because we're fulfilling the Bible prophecy. Okay? It says, and we have had no assurance of our life. In the morning you will say, I wish it were evening. And in the evening you will say, I wish it were morning, for the fear of your heart, which you will fear. We have had our people have had that kind of fear. It's like you have that you beat down in the morning, have fear in the morning, fear at night, all the time. Think of how it felt to live that way. When people come up on you and ride on, and you're not doing anything wrong. We are resilient people. Yes, God put that strength into us because He wanted our people to be punished, but not destroyed, not destroyed completely. And the scriptures say that, doesn't it? The scriptures say that. It said there's one that says, I will punish you, but I will not destroy you in full. Okay, and that says, verse 68. I hope I haven't made this too long, but I hope that it's beneficial. Okay, I pray that this is beneficial. Last verse in Deuteronomy 28. Yahweh will bring you into Egypt again with ships, by the way, which I told you that you would never see again. There you offer yourself to your enemies for male and female slaves. Nobody will buy you. People interpret that different ways, but I will say this. Where it says Yahweh will bring you into Egypt again. That's Bible prophecy. The United States is Egypt. And that's why I was telling people it's about all our slaveries in different places, but particularly in America. Guess what? America has on the dollar bill a pyramid. And the United States is made like Egypt. 2/3 of the 1 second, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, I got a phone call. Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry. Thank you for who's here. Okay, I'm back now. I'm back. Great, great. People are showing love in the chat. Very good, very good. So, what that means, Yahweh will bring you into Egypt again with ships. There's verses. Let me pull it up so people will know that Egypt is not just Egypt. Egypt is also slavery. Let me see if I can find some Bible verses. Um, 1 second here. Thank you. Appreciate your support. I really do. Bible verses that tell that Egypt is the house of bondage. because I'm wondering if because I'm wondering should this be divided into different lessons, or not lessons, but different different live streams, because this has already been 2 hours and 25 minutes. But there's like I wanted to show the end times Bible prophecies and why this is important. I'm thinking that should that be another live stream? Please let me know what you think and what you want to do, Sister Key and anybody else out there. But while you tell me, yes, break it up. Okay, yeah, yeah. Because really, I didn't want to make this part that long, but then I'm thinking that if I don't do it thoroughly, then people won't understand. You know what I'm saying? If I could speed up through it and slop through it, but I don't want to make it sloppy. You know what I mean? Okay, so we got yes, dude. So we need to break it up. So what I'll do then uh, is finish with these verses because the Deuteronomy is done. Okay, let the Most High lead me. What I'm feeling is that I don't want. I would keep going, but for the average person, or for some people, they may have other things to do, or they may be tired because this is a lot. And plus, after a certain point, it's too much for a lot of people. People just have, it's Saturday, and I think that I'll finish this point, and then be done, if that's okay with you guys. Yeah, yeah, I'll do that. So this is last part. I don't want to because I don't want to break this part up since it's at the very end. Okay, so for people, so we read in Deuteronomy 28. I was wanting to help people understand that um, Egypt is bondage. And so understand that when it says your people will go into Egypt again with ships, it's talking about not just literal Egypt, but bondage. Okay. Now it says, um, Exodus chapter 13, verse 3 says, and Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which we came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. There it is, bondage. Egypt is bondage. Okay. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the lands of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Okay, so Egypt is the house of bondage, and so forth. So Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6, land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Deuteronomy verse 6, chapter 6, verse 12. Don't forget that the Lord, or Yahweh, brought you out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Deuteronomy 13:5, which you brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage. So we see that the house of bondage in Joshua chapter 24, verse 17 says that the house of bondage, and Judges 6:8, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. Judges 6:8. I keep seeing 6:8 too. I keep seeing 6:8 all the time. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. So anyway, so we see that Egypt is the house of bondage. Let's go back, and this will conclude this live stream. Let's go back and take a look. Now we know that Egypt is the house of slavery, bondage of slavery. So now if we read Deuteronomy chapter 28, chapter 28, verse 68 again, it says, Yahweh will bring you into Egypt again, which Egypt is the house of bondage. So let's read that again with know that. It says, Yahweh will bring you into slavery again with ships. That's what it's saying. Thank you very much, Key, Sister Key. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for watching. So right there, Deuteronomy 28, chapter 28, verse 68. Yahweh will bring you into Egypt. Yahweh will bring you again into slavery with ships. So that's the prophecy right there, telling Yahweh, Almighty God is telling our people, telling whoever reads this right there, the prophecy that our people will be sent into slavery again with ships, with ships. Who else has been sent into slavery with ships like that all over the world, scattered all over the world, like this prophecy has said? There is no other people except the race known as Negroes who that's happened to. If anybody can tell me another race that this has happened to, where they were sent all over the world into slavery, in ships, just like Deuteronomy 28:68 says, please let me know in the chat section. But the reason why our people fit these prophecies is because our people are the Israelites. It's been hidden. It's the biggest surprise I got in my life. I'm sure many of you too. Some of you who may be hearing this now, and some of you already knew, but this is the biggest surprise. Black people, Black Americans, Black people are the true children of God. We're the people. Our people is the people who you read about in the Bible when you read, the people who we know and love: Moses, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Aaron, the mighty King David. The mighty King David, he was a Negro. He was Black. Okay, so thank you very much, Gotti. Now let me ask you: are you Gotti? Are you a Bantu? Please let me know if you're a Bantu or a Nilote. Please let me know. So that's all I have to say on those, because I wanted to put a background on it and not be sloppy with it and rush through it. So hopefully the thoroughness was a blessing to you. And hopefully it was thorough, because what I see in my eyes, somebody else may not see, but I pray that it was thorough and that you're able to understand it. Gotti, please let me know if you. Thank you very much, Sister Key. Life is funny. You never know. You never know who's going to be who. You never know who you're going to meet, who God will bring into your life. Thank you so much. Just asking. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Because Sister Key, a couple of weeks ago, thank you so much, Indiana. Is Indiana Funny Farm? Are you a sister? I assumed that you were a sister. I don't know. Now I want to say, Brother Gotti, let me know. It's not the most important thing, but are you a Bantu or are you a Nilote? I'm just curious. I don't know. It doesn't matter, because all our people can get the same. We can get the same blessings. Okay. But I just said that because I was, if you were Bantu, there was a certain way that I would deal with you. Okay. But so now, any questions? Any advice, any tips, anything you have before this live stream ends? What, you are Italian and Amish? Oh, okay. But what I'm saying is, are you a male or female? Because I called you sister, I just didn't know. I can't. Well, wait a minute. If I enlarge your picture, because I can't tell, maybe my eyes can't see. Let me see what I see if I enlarge your picture. I'm trying to see if you're a sister, brother, or a sister, so I'll know who I'm talking to. I think that you're a sister. Okay, I thought so. You have a sister spirit. Okay, so we know. Okay, beautiful lady. Good, very good. Well, I thank you so much, sister, and all your sisters. And okay. Well, thank you for coming. I pray that you come back again. Maybe next Saturday I'll do a part two of this. There'll be some space in between. I'll have other live streams, but as far as this particular subject, is that okay? Yeah. Thank you all for coming. And if there are no more questions, anything that I need to know, you give people a chance at the end. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. God bless you all. I pray that you have peace and blessings with you, that Almighty God Yahweh blesses you and your families. If you're having any trouble or any difficulties, I pray that God blesses you with them. Um, and I started hearing a little bit. Peace and blessings. Thank you. Just asking. Peace and blessings. I'll answer your question in a second because people may go, I don't know, but um, I I pray that you're all are drawn to Yahweh, drawn to the truth, because what I want to ultimately show you is that things that the Bible prophecy said that was going to happen in the end are happening. The signs in the heavens are happening, and in the earth, I'll show you what they are. It's very serious things that have happened, and a lot of people are not putting it together. So that's why I warn people, okay? Because a lot of people don't. They're just going right past it. I'm telling you. This is and so Sister Tina, thank you. So yeah, that God, I pray that God blesses you all, you and your families. If you have any problems, anything that you're dealing with, that Almighty God blesses you and takes care of you and gives you strength and draws you to Him. Those who want to know the truth, those who have the truth, I pray that God Yahweh opens up your mind anymore, even more. That He, whatever you need, that you get it, okay, and that you have peace and happiness in your life. All right. Amen. Amen. Thank you. So now, thank you. Blessings, blessings. I came in around the truth. It was like I heard about it, but I didn't catch on it right in 2018. It was like 2019 when I really woke up. I was no, yeah, I would say the end of 2018. I woke up, but and then like yeah, that's when it was. I think the end of 2018, and then by 2019, my eyes had just opened, and I just knew. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. But my journey is where I started studying and looking at 2018. When did you Sister Key, when did you wake up? When did you wake up to the truth? Yeah, but it's a blessing, and God has blessings. Like I said, I want everybody to know, every nation. It's not just going to be the Israelites but everybody is going to be blessed by God. All who take to Him, all who grab on to God. I'll show you that too in the Bible. 2019, but my in-laws were telling me for years prior. Yeah, I had heard certain things, but I thought that people was talking. I didn't know. The teachings that I had got before. When you have something ingrained in you so hard, it's hard to get it out of you when you've been hearing it all your life. But if God wants you awakened, you will wake up. God is waking up people all over. The Holy Spirit. But yeah, somebody, the first thing especially been raised in Christianity, yeah, because Christianity does not talk about these things at all. They're not going to read these verses in the Bible. One second. I hear something. Hold on, okay? Excuse me. I'll be right back. Back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's funny that it's ending. It's 14 likes. It was just 8 people in the chat. That was 4-8, and it's about to be 418. Maybe it's nothing. A lot of times when I see things, my phone, I'll wake up and I'll look at my phone and it'll be 408. Then I'll look at my phone charge, it'll be 48%, something like that. There's a lot of history that is hidden from us. Yeah, it's true. And so I, I know people don't know. People just don't know. And it's not really their fault. But that's why, you know, I see the seriousness of it, and I want to do my part to warn all people, because it is going to affect everybody. But I want to show you, if y'all keep coming back, especially next Saturday, and because God willing, I want to show you how Bible prophecy connects to America. There's things a lot of people won't believe. I'm telling you, it's things that's happened, and that's why you're seeing things that are happening in America now. Um, yeah. So, if there's no more questions or comments, I'll give you a second, but we'll end this. Any more questions or comments? And while I'm waiting, I say thank you all again. Thank you so much for coming. This has been a pleasant surprise because I really, I didn't expect all of this, these blessed you people to come like this. Okay. Peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you so much. Okay. God bless you. See you. Okay. Goodbye. Thank you.